If we look at burns in South Africa, burns are the most common cause of external death to children under the age of 10. What we don't know is how many survive. Now we have 13 on this camp, but I'm told in unofficial statistics that there are 15,000 burn survivors in this country alone.
My name is John, and I'm 13 years old. 2 years ago, I was in a house fire. The house was burning down, and my dad was taking me out of the house, and then the helicopter came, and he took me to the hospital, and I wake up in the hospital.
This, the very first burn survivor jamboree in Africa, has resulted out of an exciting partnership between Eco Access, Medics Against Pediatric Injuries, the World Burns Foundation, Children of Fire, the Umashesha Group, Emergency Services, various volunteers, and various generous sponsors. This week-long jamboree was held in the Cradle of Humankind near Johannesburg, South Africa, and was born out of the dream of a paramedic, Rodney Eckstein, to see the lives of burn survivors enhanced, and the dream of Eco Access to see all disabled people integrated into our society and environment. Join the children now as they journey through Africa's very first Burn Survivors Jamboree.
So how in reality would this camp impact on the participants? The Jamboree organizers had high hopes and expectations. They saw the children transformed over the week from scared, inhibited beings who arrived on the Monday morning to exuberant, confident and somewhat naughty children by Friday's departure time. But would this be a real long-lasting impact? To determine this, a pre-camp session was held, managed by the Institute of Social Health Services. This was the first part of a quantitative assessment to determine the psychological profile of burn survivors before the Jamboree, with a second assessment to follow a month later, so as to evaluate the impact of the camp and its participants.
I'm here to help burn survivors because my daughter's a burn survivor. My daughter at age 13 was burnt at high school, and I've witnessed firsthand what these camps can do. In mainstream society, regardless of where you are on this globe, you're judged if you're not perfect. There are no boundaries throughout the globe. We're all the same. We're all one of a kind. You know, these children don't need sympathy, but a little bit of compassion and empathy and guidance of how they can overcome some of the adversities that they have in life.
The official opening of the camp took the form of an icebreaker managed by Rob and Julie Filmer of Eco Access. It encouraged the participants from all round South Africa to meet each other in a fun, non-stressful manner. The breaking down of fear and barriers between the participants is vital to the ultimate success of the camp. Hugging encourages touching, an important aspect in breaking down the natural fear and apprehension experienced by many of the participants. Singing is an activity that most children can enjoy and can easily participate in. During the icebreaker, the campers say hello to strangers, tell themselves and their newfound friends that they are special, and are thereby introducing the concept upon which the entire program is built: respect for ourselves, for others and the environment.
When I started volunteering, I was stunned when I saw this young girl, Dora. She is badly burned, and as a father, I wouldn't imagine the pain that my child will be going through when I see that child, Dora.
It is vital that all staff and participants know and understand the emergency procedures that are in place: safe meeting points, exits, whereabouts of fire extinguishers, as well as the position of first aiders and contact numbers for emergency services. Four non-burn high school learners were invited to participate on the camp. All fears that these young adults would not cope with the severity of the scars carried by the burn survivors dissipated within minutes of the start of the camp.
Nice to see that everybody's so willing and also capable of making a change in the problems with fires in this country. There's so little for fire prevention that it is so easy to do so much. We feel that South Africa has an excellent position to be at least the leader in Africa in many fields, including this one. South Africa actually had the biggest 0 to 100 start that I have ever seen.
I'm primarily a physiotherapist, so I work a lot with disabled children and adults and have a very keen interest in helping them to do the best they can with their disabilities. They find hidden strengths within themselves that they didn't know they had in communicating with people of different cultures and abilities.
Activities were both on-site at Vulindlela village and off-site, like the group's visit to the De Wild Cheetah and Animal Research Centre. The centre is primarily dedicated to ensuring the survival of the cheetah in the wild. The fastest creature on Earth is now endangered due to human destruction of its habitat. The highlight of the activity was the rare opportunity to actually touch a real live cheetah.
Our experience is really in running camps for people with disabilities, so we were quite well suited to this kind of thing. In collaboration with the other 2 or 3 organizations, we put this camp together.
Another environmental experience, the Zoo to You program, exposed the participants to even more wildlife. This activity allowed the campers to face and overcome some of their own fears by touching wildlife such as snakes. An additional benefit of interacting with unusual animals like snakes is that children learn that all creatures share characteristics such as fear, curiosity and fascination. A spin-off of these kind of activities is that as the children are learning about our wild world, so they are also learning about each other. There was also a visit from the Freeme Wildlife Rehabilitation Centre. Symbolically, this relates directly to burn survivors on the camp. These hedgehogs and birds were injured, rehabilitated and are now being set free. This relates directly to the objectives of the camp, to set free the spirits of the burn survivors. This is also an opportunity for the children to personally take part in the experience of caring for our wild heritage, an ethic that Eco Access actively promotes. With all the excitement of new ideas and experiences, these children also need an opportunity to reflect and spend time alone with themselves. This quiet time, solitaire, also gives them the opportunity to enjoy the vastness of the natural environment. Most of these children come from urbanized, extremely cramped home conditions. After supper and a day full of excitement, how better to end the day than around the campfire telling stories? Storytelling is a safe, non-judgmental environment in which to begin expressing oneself. It is also an excellent method to promote one's self-esteem. Telling self-created stories in groups promotes teamwork, laughter and interacting on a more personal and intimate level. Team building forms a vital component of the camp. A variety of activities are used to create awareness of the power of self, as well as the power of teamwork, where everyone's skills and talents are used. It highlights that although one has setbacks and disadvantages, together we can achieve a common goal, and regardless of one's background, one can still contribute to another's success. The energetic, challenging and fun-filled dimensions of team-building activities are balanced with the still introspection of sharing circles. A World Burns Foundation activity, Sharing Circles gives the participants a facilitated forum to express their feelings in a protected environment. This is an opportunity for burn survivors to realize and come to terms with the fact that there are others out there who have gone through a similar experience, both physical and emotional, and that they are not alone in the world. Firefighters and burn survivors meet face to face. Profound questions face both groups. Questions such as, what would happen had we got there sooner? And what would have happened had they not arrived in time? However, a relationship develops quickly, especially once the firefighters begin foaming everyone in sight. Hugging and touching was encouraged, another important self-esteem builder, and it took place with all the children being the same, with equality in looks. It is the objective of the emergency services to educate people on how to minimize the risk of getting burnt, and this exercise builds trust between all concerned.
Using the result of this experience, the result of the assessment, the result of many other role players and experiences that we've had to make the next one bigger and better, so that we can start at least making a dent into those 15,000 burn survivors that are out there.
Eco Access has a friendship wall at the camp, where handprints of participants at the camp are left as a mark of "we were here." Some children gave their newfound friends personalized mementos to take home as a token of their friendship. This wall will also give the participants a peer down the passage of history in years to come of all the special children who attended the camp in this rainbow nation of ours.
They got love in this camp, they got everything. That is, when they see other people outside in this world, they have to know that this person is going to accept me.
Swimming was encouraged, as this is good exercise and also allows the burn survivors to expose their scars while having fun, another exercise in growth of self-esteem. All too soon the final night arrives. Eco Access, Magpie, World Burns Foundation, Children of Fire, the Omashesha Volunteer Group, Emergency Services, the non-burn children, the burn survivors, all partners in what has been a very successful camp. There can be no doubt that all the participants have experienced and learned something new about themselves, others, and the planet that we all live on and share responsibility for. I am special, so are you. On Monday we greeted strangers. Today we say goodbye to friends. Goodbyes can be tough, especially after the emotional roller coaster that the last week has been for them.
Our ultimate dream or wish would be to have a burn survivors camp in each province every year.
A last farewell party brought this first ever South African Burn Survivors Jamboree to a close. The first, we hope, of many.
This has been such an exciting camp and a wonderfully successful partnership project that has changed and enriched the lives of each and every one of us that has been involved in it. And it's achieved so many of its outcomes, specifically one which is the establishment of the World Burns Foundation South Africa, which we are sure is going to go forward to enhance the lives of so many burn survivors in this wonderful nation of ours, South Africa.
Just want to say thank you very much.
Your donations will ensure the success of this camp in the future.
Hey,